is a beautiful new day. It's not raining too much today, at least not yet. It's been raining a lot this week. We've got several things I like to work on today, and I know I probably won't get half of them done. Here's what we got going on. My truck stopped running really well last week, and I think it's due to ignition coils. So I'd love to get those replaced because I've got some more pickups that I need to take care of, and I'm going on vacation pretty soon also. So I'd like to get that taken care of before then. Then of course there's things like mowing the grass, which may or may not happen. Try to work on some of the weeds that need to be maybe pulled out first. And let's open these packages. All right, let's open the little one first. I think I already know what both of these are. All right, get everything? Sweet. Oh yeah. So these are the new ignition coils for my truck. So if I went through Ford, it'd cost like $200 something probably per coil, at least 100 something. Or like 600 something for a full set, I think. Anyway, these are not Ford brand, but this costs like $40 for the full set, and they got pretty decent reviews. So even if they don't work out that great, you know, I haven't lost that much. They're hopefully not that hard to replace. It looks pretty straightforward, just pop it on there. So we may actually go ahead and try to get that taken care of early today. So what did we get from good old Amazon? Ho ho ho. I think you can tell what that is. Oh sweet, some else too. Got some fuses. I realized that I don't really have any fuse packages like this, and I end up scrounging for fuses. But I didn't have the smaller ones, and I have a sprayer, or my dad has a sprayer I'm gonna borrow that has a blown fuse. So that'll be helpful for spraying the yard. Oh, this is the real deal. Much like the Milwaukee M12, this is something I've been thinking about getting for a long time, but they cost a fortune. This is like $200 something. Oh yeah, wow. That is heavy. But I wanted an impact driver, and I conveniently have a battery back there. This is an 8 amp hour battery. It looks good on there. Oh yeah. Man, that's gotta be like 7 pounds or something. Oh. Oh yeah. Such power. So it costs a lot, but stuff that helps on the business. I have had some bolts I could not break free, so I knew I wanted to get an impact driver. I was like, okay, I could get, well, what are there? There's air, there's corded, and then there's cordless. I don't have an air setup. I don't really have a great cord setup. I already have Dewalt, so I really wanted this for the mobility of it, but they just cost a lot. So anyway, I finally made the jump. I got the hog ring on the end there, which some people are saying it just makes it easier to put those sockets on there. So I'll see how that goes. I think you can actually replace that part if you don't like it. But I didn't know how big of an impact to get, so I just went for the top. Got the most expensive, biggest Dewalt there is. This is like $222 without the battery. But I already have several Dewalt batteries from my other stuff, so we're ready to go. There you have it. Dewalt DCF899H. H for the hog nose. Can't wait to put this bad boy to the use. Alright, so we got that fun tool unboxing out of the way, and it is super muddy and wet out here. It's just been raining so much all week. I don't know if I'll be able to do a ton of work out here, which is okay because I have a bunch of other stuff to do. But one thing I forgot to mention is I've got somebody interested in the deck on this mower. They have a John Deere 115 or 115. So I need to get this pulled off and see if it's in good condition. Obviously it's kind of dirty, but these decks have a tendency to rot out. So you never know, but oftentimes, you know, the paint will go and it'll still be pretty solid. But I'm hopeful, since the previous owners were taking the engine out of that mower, put in here, I'm hopeful that this deck is in good functional condition. Because if it is, that's like a couple $100+ right there. So let's see if we can get that knocked out here. I don't like sticking my hands in there. As long as there's no snakes, I'll be golden. All right, that was quick and easy. Pulled right off of there. And it's kind of too dirty to see what condition it's in. So let's see if we can get it cleaned off, washed off. I'll probably get the wagon and take it over to the hose. And we'll see what we got here. So what we've got here is a deck that's been fixed before. So you can tell looking at this. We got welds here. And I'm not gonna say whether they're bad or good. That's not for me to say. It's not yet. But it's been re-welded. And I think looking under here, they put larger washers on here. These tend to split out. So I think I may have welded that a little bit. This spindle feels good. This spindle here, so this one good, no wiggle. This one, just barely. So that one's still pretty good. I think it has quite a bit of life left in it. There's the idlers, they're all free. The tensioner is free. That spring seems kind of weak. And part of that's because the blade brakes aren't working on there. They're both locked open, which doesn't really affect the deck that much. It's just, you know, a safety thing, which is important. So these John Deere decks have a really bad tendency to rust out and break around the spindles. Really, I would avoid John Deere's because of these decks. These decks are bad. They're expensive because there's not a lot of them. So whoever has a good one can sell it for quite a bit of money. A good deck is worth $200+ on these. This deck here, it's actually in pretty decent shape. So it's probably still worth $150. It might even be worth $200. So anyway, I'll take some pictures and let them know. Yeah, the paint's peeling off. That's another John Deere deck thing. But this had some stuff sitting on here for quite a while, and there was a lot of nice juicy worms in that stuff. It was nice. It was a nice compost. So let's see what it looks like under here. Yep, a little wear along the edge of the deck, right there. A little bit over here. That looks pretty decent under there. The blades are good. See what these spindles look like. That don't look too bad. You can't see much actually. So I'll take some pictures and send them to the potential customer and see what they think. And hopefully we can sell this. That guy's coming for the deck. He's driving probably an hour plus to get here, and he should be here any minute. So I need to get this loaded up on the wagon, get it over there and set up my time lapse so you can see him buy it. This deck is definitely beat up, so I told him I'd take $150 for it instead of the $225 originally, and hopefully it works out. So he bought that deck, he paid the $150 for it, and I went ahead and threw in all the deck hardware that I had there, because I'm not gonna be selling deck hardware. Yeah, another productive, fruitful day, I'd say. And I need to get back working on the truck. Let's get to it. Here's what we got going on with the truck. It's just running really rough. Let's see what it sounds like when we start it. It may actually sound better now. It may have just been an issue when it was hot. It actually is running pretty smooth, which is something a faulty ignition coil could do. We should take it for a spin. Okay, I'm getting the vibration now. I don't know if you can feel and hear that shake. Starting to get that firework smoky smell. Oh yeah. Gotta whiff that, unless it's my transmission going out. So here's the deal. I decided to go ahead and go to AutoZone, and here we are pulling in right now. The truck was misfiring pretty bad. on the way at first, and I was kind of riding it pretty hard to see if it would clear up at a higher RPM. And I succeeded in getting my service engine light to start flashing. So I turned it off and back on, turned the truck off and back on, and that seemed to really clear up the misfire a lot. The light just went back to being a steady on instead of flashing. So anyway, we'll see if they can read it, and it's been running pretty good. I've been babying it a little bit more. I think that's helped. So we'll see what they say. So that was quick and easy. They read the code and they gave me a printout, and it is a cylinder number 3 misfire. So that's great. I mean, now I know which one it is. Let me phrase that. I know which one. I know that it's just one bad one. Now I need to figure out which one cylinder number 3 is. But I have a manual, so we'll get that narrowed down. Let's go home and see if we can find cylinder number 3 and get it changed out. Okay, so I have researched and found out that the number 3 is this one back here. This is 1, 2, 3, that's 4, and then you start counting down on the other side. So we'll see if I can crawl up in there and get it out. I crawled up in here and I'm seeing something that isn't really what I wanted to be seeing. I don't know if you can see that on the wires for number 3. There is some deterioration going on there. So I may not actually have a bad ignition coil, although it might be bad now. I'm wondering if that's actually the culprit. So my plan right now is to let that wiring alone for now. I went ahead and replaced the coil. You can see that bright new yellow one right there. And the wiring, I would love to put some electrical tape on it at some point, or liquid electrical tape. The problem is I can't find it right now. So let's fire this thing up and see how it sounds. Sounds good. I feel like there's still a little hesitation on it. Maybe I'll take it for a quick test spin. Well, bad news. I didn't fix the problem. So even though my service engine light's not on, it's still running rough, and when I disconnect the wire from that coil, the engine makes no difference in how it runs. To me, that means either that wiring is all the way destroyed, or my brand new coil pack is faulty, or I didn't get it on there all the way, or my spark plug is bad. I don't know which one it is. I think the first thing is going to be to try to clean out the gunk and get that seated, be sure it's seated in there all the way. The second thing would probably be to try a different coil pack in there, and the third thing would be to try to fix the wiring, like actually replace a chunk of wire or something. I mean, covering it up is easy, but if it's broken all the way through somehow, it doesn't look like it, that wouldn't help anything. The fourth thing would be the spark plug, and I really hope it's not the spark plug. So anyway, I'll probably have to call it quits for tonight because it's getting to be about 10:30 and it's kind of late to be out working on a Saturday night. So I think that's it for tonight. I'll probably just clean up and head on inside, and we'll figure out what we'll do. I don't know. I guess that's what we have to figure it out, because we don't know. So anyway, that's it for today.